And good morning to you. I have Deb here with me, and we are going to be talking, you guys, about what HBR is actually doing for people. So not like what does Martha say HBR is supposed to be doing, but rather what is HBR actually doing for people, okay? So this is going to be like for the next 20 minutes-ish. I just spat everywhere, sorry. For the next 20 minutes-ish, we're going to be diving into what it's doing for Deb in her actual life. And then we're even going to get into some stuff that Deb is doing because of HBR, okay? So as you're watching this, my challenge to you is to think to yourself, is this something that would work for me as well? Is this something that is actually going to be helpful for me? Do I think this may be different than everything else that I've seen before, right? Maybe this is actually the thing that is going to work and is actually going to help me, okay? Instead of just taking your money and running, right? So here we go, Deb.
Hey Martha, how are ya?
I am so good. How are you?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, you guys. Here's my question. My first question is how much time in your life before HBR did you spend thinking about entrepreneurial stuff, or did you take classes before? What did that pre-HBR world look like for you?
So I can tell you the date. It was May 12th, 2015. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had kind of decided on a couple different levels I'm diving in, and that's pretty much all I had at that point. I just had the decision, but I had no idea what I was doing. And it took a couple years for me to figure out that anything I thought I figured out was absolutely not working. So I started like, did you ever go, you have seashell hunting and
Yeah.
you see all these shiny seashells in the water and you pick them up and then you get them home and they don't shine anymore. Well, I started getting attracted to all of these options, right? These people, and they were like these shiny seashells in the water. And I was like, I'm going to do it. So I started following them and I would buy their programs. But then when I tried to apply it to me, it wasn't shiny anymore. It didn't work. And it was so frustrating. And it was money, it was time. And just to give you some background, I'm a full-time mom of two, husband, and I'm the income provider for the family. And so this is a vehicle for me to kind of get out of that fast lane and do what I want. And it was frustrating because I was spending money and I was taking time for my kids, and accomplishments were minimal. So that was kind of my story up until July. When you launched HBR, I jumped on board, and I had taken a hiatus, I want to say, for the better part of a year. And I don't think I wanted to stop, but I was like, I can't continue down this road. I'm going broke, right? It doesn't make any
It's
sense,
not
and I'm having no
sustainable.
payoffs.
Failure
No,
after
there's
failure after failure isn't sustainable to our
no.
spirit,
And
right?
you see these people that are doing things, and then, right, so it starts hitting your heart and your confidence, and you're like, I, I guess I must just not be made for this. They say that that's not supposed to happen. And, so I went through a lot of that. And I think, Martha, I'm probably the most red and green person
Yeah.
that you have. Like, I need facts and I need this and I need that. And I have my notebook here with sample answers that I could give you. But I just was like, I've got to be able to figure this out. And then when I came on board with you, I remember you said to me, um, oftentimes you talk about that you just want to chat with somebody to make sure that the program is right for them.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. And I remember I was walking around Target and I'm like, what is she going to ask me? I'm going to need to give 50 hours a week. Like, it's going to be too much. And you were like, do you have an hour or two a day? And I'm like, wait a minute, what? How does that work? Like, an hour or two a day? Lady, I've been dedicating 20 hours a week. Like, how could you boil it down? And that's what you did. And it was a graceful process to go in and keep that seashells shiny, but see that there's a whole ocean full of shells and you get to pick the one that you want.
Yeah.
And the way you took us through it kind of kept building up to, and this is an opportunity, but remember this basic thing: you need to serve others. You are not to be running around selling, right? And I
Right.
think from a personal transition, that was mine. It was getting into a space where I am able to feel proud of who I am and what I've learned and my experiences, my bumps and bruises, because there's others out there that have that story and want to do better. And when you start showing up like that, and get the sales stuff out of your mind, it works. And I will just say, you can't fool yourself. You can't say, I'm not going to think about sales. I'm not going to think about sales. But did they buy that? Did they buy that? Because if you toggle, that's like kamikaze mission, like 101. You decide. You decide that you want to be there to help others. And so that's my story, right? That I've gone through that brought me to you. And I think the one cool thing is you don't say, do this, now spend more money. I'm just going to give you a taste, now spend more money and more money. It's such an amazing package. So, you know, so
Thank you.
that's me.
Thank you. That was wow. I did not expect all of that. That is fantastic. I of course loved every second of it though. Whenever you initially in 2015, whenever you first got that like nudge or desire to start doing something for yourself in an entrepreneurial space, where did that come from, do you think? Like what made you,
It
what moved you
came,
into that
yeah.
space?
It came from loving the fact that I was able to step up and provide for my family uh, the way that I did. But I was scared that I was going to be doing that till I was 65 years old and not see anything. Like I was going to have these three people that I'm supporting, but I don't get to be in their life. So what is that? Like I want to kind of be there too. And that was hard because I love my day job, but oh my God, at that time I was, in my mid 40s and I thought, I have 20 more years of this. They're going to be in college. They're going to be this. They're going to be that. And then what am I going to show up at that point and go, hey, let's hang out. Let's have some fun.
Hey, I've been
They're,
paying the bills this whole time, right? And they're
yeah,
like, yeah, but where
yeah,
were you, right? Yeah.
yeah. Where were you?
Mm.
Super mom doesn't cut it like that. Like it's
There's
not so good.
there's this strange society, I think makes us believe this strange tenet of wearing a badge of honor, that our hustle and our busyness is a badge of honor for moms. And
Yeah,
like once we can realize that that's just a story that's been told to us, that doesn't need to, our badge of honor can be our love for our family, and that we show up in a
yeah,
different way that actually is best for our family. And maybe that way isn't the same for every family, right? But what way is best
sure.
for your family? That should be our badge of honor, not just a cut and
Right.
dried, be busy, get all the things done, super mom, have your cape, right? Like it doesn't, you don't, that doesn't fit. It doesn't fit for
No,
everybody. Yeah, man, that's
no. And
amazing.
it's so I had an episode with cancer 4 years before that. And like I remember laying in bed and Jacob had come down and he wanted me to tuck him in. And Mark's like, you're tired, just go. And I said, what if I don't get to tuck him in again? And so that moment makes me think, oh, God, like Hayden only plays basketball once. Am I supposed to tell him I can never go to the game? And that started kind of my mental exit strategy that there's got to be something else.
Yes.
So, you know,
That so it was kind of a blessing in the fact that it shook you.
yeah,
I think that same blessing, not coming from the same thing, of course, but I think COVID has given us that same blessing
yeah,
of shaking us into like this. Okay, you're alive right now. Like this is your life. This is, what are you choosing, right? Like what do you
yep,
do next? What are you going to do with this?
right.
Um, uh, let's talk about some stuff that you've been, so what we've talked about so far is that like before HBR, it was a lot of like probably just seeing probably Facebook ads and stuff on Google and whatever of people saying, hey, build your business this way and da 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 da. You probably saw a lot of that, and then you were joining some one-off programs and stuff, and then you were like, this doesn't really seem to be working. And then you got into HBR and you're like, oh, here's how it all works together, right? Here's how it all is supposed to work. Yeah, in an organic, authentic, transparent way where you're serving people. Like there's just nothing bad about it. So so once you started creating an HBR, so once you got the juices flowing and everything, which is what happens, you guys, you come in, even if you don't have an idea, you come in, as long as you're a person that's ready to serve, that's all that you need coming into HBR. The rest of it will come to you. I promise you that. So whenever your creative juices started flowing, what sort of things are you starting to create within HBR?
Yep. So that whole question, and I think most of the people in this group know the whole idea of bat signal, like who am I, what is it? I granted myself some grace. You and I chatted. I thought I had my bat signal, but where I found myself was, as women, as we mature, we're in a phase where, oh my God, everything's crazy. But then we enter this place where there can be peace. And where I have found my strength is taking my learnings from cancer and taking my learnings from that fast pace where I beat the heck out of my body. And my body said to me, you stink. You have to stop treating me like this, or I'm going to give you another message. And I started learning what are the things about a body that will benefit. And first I was thinking, am I doing this because of menopause? And no, this is just about taking care of my body. And a lot of it is through certainly what we put into our bodies. And where I am now is I am creating an entire class around the fueling of our bodies that gets us in a state where we are not susceptible. I'm trying to say the right words. We are not susceptible to some of the things that can present themselves to us as we age, right? Am I saying that in a compliant way?
I think it sounds compliant to me. Yeah.
Right. There's a list of things that we as women know that happen, even men, that people, I think. So here's my tagline. I am accepting of my age, but I am not complacent. I'm not complacent with the side effects that Mother Nature and Father Time give me and say, just deal with it. I say, that's cool. I know it's kind of out there. And I know I turned 52 on last Wednesday. Yeah. I feel great. I go to my doctor and they're like, what are you doing? And it's all about the fuel I put into my body and the energy levels and how I take care of it. So, what I just launched was a program, a 4-week jumpstart for that. That's all it takes, right? Get off those roller coasters, get off seeing those seashells where people say, I promise you, if you take this pill or if you do this, life's going to change. Dude, it is not going to change. It's not. No. And you want to look forward to that future and say, I have an advantage. I am like light years ahead of where I'm supposed to be. And I'm 52. I'm doing great. So let's do this, right? So that's my thing right now. And I just want women and men to feel empowered with that and you don't have to eat weird, and you don't have to, have your family have one meal and you have a different one that looks goofy. That's not what life is about. It's living, right? Yes. Let's live and do all that. So that's my 4-week jumpstart that I just put out, and it's getting great reception. Like, people are really responding to it. I feel like we're going to move mountains together. And that's one thing that I just want to tell everyone in HBR. This takes 2 seconds. They need to catch your video yesterday about culture.
Oh, yes.
They need to do that. Guys, go back to what Martha said about the thing that is best for your group. Culture. You have to pay attention to that.
Yes.
And that's part of serving others. So that's what 100%. I'm working on now.
That's awesome. And this video is actually going everywhere. So this video will be on YouTube and Facebook. It's on all of it's like everywhere. So, so that said, first of all, as you're listening to her talk, did everybody experience how she just passionately went into, she started talking faster, she was sitting up straighter, everything, she is in alignment completely. You guys, HBR is not for people that are chasing dollars. HBR is for people that decide to serve first, and then the income comes, you guys. I show you how to be able to do that. It's not like it just ambiguously comes. I show you how to be able to do that, but you guys, it's all in service. That's the thing. We show up in service. Everything that she talked about is in service to the woman who is letting age happen to her, because I mean, there's a lot of interesting things so far as when we get older, just in food that we eat, and when you say like fueling your body, there's a lot of interesting things that happen that really you just make some changes and all of a sudden you're an extremely vital human being. And extremely vital human beings do what? Can play with their grandkids in the yard, right? Can go and sit down cross-legged with their kids in the yard without pain, are able to run. I see Deb running every day. She goes on live whenever she's running. Every time I open up my Facebook, I see Deb running again. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like this is a life that people can have. And Deb is in service to her people. Do you guys get it? That's what we're doing here. It's not just like, I want to make a bunch of money. Who gives an actual rip about money at all if we're not in service to people? You're not going to feel good about the way you're making money, guys. And it's not going to be sustainable to your soul. It's not. Right. But when you're in service, it will. Now, first I'm going to say how they can join HBR. And then, Deb, what I want you to do is share with them how they can join your program, okay? So, first things first, if you are wondering how to join HBR, what you do is you have a quick conversation with me. Now, ignore case study. Ignore that here. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to send a message to my Facebook business page, and it's Living the Dream with Martha, right there. And you're going to send it the word Deb, D-E-B. Okay. What that's going to do is it's going to get you half off. If you sign up before the Monday right after Black Friday here, then you're also going to get into a mastermind that is going to teach you 5 business opportunities to help you crush 2021. Okay, so there's that as well, which is just an extra. Just like, in case you didn't know this about me, there's always extra. There's always a little extra icing. There's a little extra like, I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to go ahead and add that just because I think of it and I'm like, I want my people to have this. So all of that, as long as you get signed up by Monday, okay, you guys? And again, the name is Deb. That's what you're going to send me. All that we do, you guys, is we have a quick conversation. I'm going to make sure that it's right for you. You're going to make sure that it's right for you. You're going to get the details, excuse me, of the program. I'll invite you into the program. 99% of the people it's right for, okay? I will invite you into the program. You'll decide whether you want to do it or not, and either way is totally okay. It's your world, but it's your world. Okay, so it's time for you to show up and start doing this stuff, okay? Deb had her come to Jesus moment, quite frankly, with the cancer scare. And then it grew into, okay, well, I'm going to start doing this stuff from home. And then there was confusion, and then she found HBR, and then now it's happening, and now it's working. Okay, you guys? You don't have to go through learning curves. I had 10 years of learning curves. You don't even have to go through that. I just teach you guys this stuff. Deb, let's go ahead and let me get this off my screen. Tell people how they can get involved in your stuff, in the program that you were just talking about for is it just for women or is it for men too?
Nope, it's for everybody. And I would dare say, don't think it's just for if you're 52 years old. It is for any age, anybody that wants to grab that health, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. And I actually did a post running video this morning. So if you check out my Facebook page, you get kind of a little more of me, some of my love speak, but then you get the link. And I have a group that we're dedicated to just pursuing this on an even higher level. And in my bio, you can click that free group and go over, or just message me for sure. You know, we can stay together. I think that's as everywhere as I can get it.
Do you have an email
I
address that, just for people that might see this video in the far off future? Do you have an email address for them to email you at to get more info?
Sure. It's the number one, just one, lavenderlemonade@gmail.com.
I love it.
So
I love it.
That's me. That's my favorite
awesome.
summer drink.
I hear you. You are not wrong. Somebody said, what does HBR stand for? Home-based revolution. That's what it stands for. That's what it's doing. We're able to live at home, do whatever we want to do, work at home, serve from home, serve from wherever we want, but it's home-based revolution in that it doesn't require us to be anywhere else. So,
right.
All right, you guys, we're going to pop out of here. Any last words, Deb, that you wanted to say?
No, I would say just be ready to fall in love with yourself, right? And just know that if you do this, there is a community that is going to be lifting you up higher than you could go. And, life isn't meant to be a one-man show. So be part of a group that does it and fall in love with yourself, because you're pretty cool the way you are. So let's show up and let's see you, right?
I love it. Man, I love it. Deb, you have the best day. Everybody else, you have an awesome day too. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.